Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I know it's been a little while. Thank you for being patient as I kind of adjusted into our new life. So we have officially been living in Nicaragua for a month now, and this video is just going to kind of be a general update to let you know kind of what's been going on, where we're at, the direction of this channel now that my life has kind of made a big change. I'm going to give you a little pregnancy update. I'm 21 weeks as of tomorrow, so halfway there. So yeah. So first, I would just want to start with the direction of this channel. I have a lot of people interested in our new life here and starting a ministry and what that's going to look like. So I wanted to share that with you. And I also wanted to document it for my kids' sake one day when they get older, to look back and kind of see the journey from Canada to Nicaragua, starting a ministry, starting an orphan care ministry from scratch, what that kind of looked like for them as kids. So I've decided for a couple reasons to do that on another channel. One, I know not everybody here is interested in my life that much, and they're more just here for content about motherhood and fostering and adoption and just some of the nuances and complications that come with being a foster or an adoptive mom. And I still plan on creating that type of content here. I want to say thank you for sticking around if you're here. I know this last year I took a huge break from YouTube in general just because I knew this big life transition was coming up. Saying goodbye to our last little guy was very emotional and hard and heavy on me. And also in the past, I've shared too much, and I just didn't want to do that with our little guy's case. When you follow foster parents online, some people share a lot of information. I would say my agency is probably one of the more strict as far as what you're allowed to share. They don't even want you telling people that you're a foster parent. So the fact that I have a YouTube channel where I talk about being a foster parent and all that was like reflected badly on me in my agency's eyes, and I had people watching my channel. So if you've been around for a long time and you maybe saw some changes where I used to be real open and honest and real and raw, I really had to take a step back from that. To be honest, I was worried it was going to mess up the adoption process with Rosie simply because something I put online. Maybe I'll get into a video one day a little bit more detailed about that, but essentially I got in trouble with my agency. But I really wanted to be here to support foster parents and adoptive parents because it's a role that doesn't get enough support and needs support, and I'm really passionate about giving that to other foster and adoptive parents. So that I don't plan on going anywhere with that content, but I know there has been a big lull this past year. Not only because of COVID, we were kind of homeless because we were supposed to be moving and not moving, and we were living in a rental. So I didn't do any of my regular like cleaning videos or motherhood kind of videos just because I wanted to respect that we were living in our friend's house. And like for the latter part of us living there, they actually lived there also. They are a missionary family as well, but came back from Lebanon, so they were actually living there for the latter part of when we lived there. So I didn't do any of those kinds of videos. So also with YouTube taking my comments away, this past year on YouTube was just weird for me for several reasons, and I just kept praying about it, and I felt forced, and I just felt God saying like, take a break. It's fine to take a break. I knew I didn't want to stop. I didn't feel that God was calling me to stop completely, so I'd make some videos here and there, but I just was not didn't have my whole heart into it like I have had in previous years. So I want to apologize for that and just thank you for being around here still. Back to the second channel. I've wanted to create a second channel to share our Nicaragua journey. Moving here, just the ins and outs of family life, moving here, missionary life, and starting a ministry from scratch. So I just kind of want to share that all on a separate channel for a couple of reasons. One, like I just explained, to keep it separate, but also so I can have comments. I get sometimes comments on videos and then YouTube takes them away again. So over there, I have comments again, and I miss so much talking and being in communication with you guys. That's such a big part of YouTube for me. And when YouTube took away my comments, I just that was like the first straw that started kind of, not disinterest, that's not the right word, but just, it was just different. And not being able to talk with people watching my video, you feel like you're kind of creating a video and you don't know who's watching it, or it just felt weird. So I really missed having comments. So I decided to create a second channel so I could have comments, and that is strictly going to be about our life vlog, like day in the life vlogs, specifically about life here in Nicaragua. And I'll still do like vlog type videos over on this channel, but it will more be motherhood, faithful motherhood content. That's really like the bottom line of my channel is faithful motherhood and things that stem up from there. Foster care, adoption. Even though I'm not a foster parent, still very much involved in orphan care here with our new ministry. So I definitely will still be bringing that content and just like fun motherhood stuff. And, you know, I want to let you guys know how this pregnancy is going. I've had so many of you say you're praying for me. So overall, I felt it was best to have two separate channels. So moving on from that, I'm going to give you a quick update about our first month here and what it's been like. So the kids have adjusted amazing. Rosie loves it here. She's a very active, energetic, busy little girl. She absolutely loves like just the outdoors and being able to run, and she loves it here. I don't think Rosie will ever, I don't want to put like this hard and fast rule on her, but I genuinely just don't think that she will ever thrive in a traditional school environment. So I really do think homeschooling is the best option for her, even though it's a hard option for me because she is so energetic. She takes a lot out of me as a mother. I don't know how much I'm going to get into this on this video, but she has some behavioral issues, some impulse control issues. She has a really hard time remembering things, and all of that coupled with the fact that she's just 3. But she does have some image from things in her past. So trauma, some damage done to her brain, things like that. Sometimes it makes it very difficult to parent her, but she is a joy also to parent. She just brings so much light to all of our lives, and everybody that meets her just falls in love with her. And we are just so grateful that God chose us to be her parents, her forever family. And honestly, I just, every day, not a day goes by that I don't thank God for her. She's just precious. As hard as some days are, she's just precious. You might be able to hear her in the background. Our bedroom is right on top of the kitchen. It's just like plank wood floor. There's no insulation or anything. So if you hear the background, that's just kind of my life right now. I don't really have a quiet spot, and I'm sure a kid will bust in while I'm trying to film this video. But Marissa has been overall doing really well. She's been FaceTiming with her friends a lot, and that keeps the homesickness at bay, as well as with her family, grandparents mainly. And Lilia was the one who had the hardest time. So she's our oldest, and I kind of expected she would have, I actually expected Marissa would have a harder time, but Lilia has actually been the one who's had the hardest time. Lilia kind of holds emotions in, and then they kind of usually come out later. She was excited at first, and then for the second and I would say most of the second week, by like 4 o'clock every day when she started to get tired, she started to get kind of weepy and homesick. And then kind of week 4 hit, and she seemed to be doing much better with it. So she makes sure to call her grandparents regularly. Those are the people that she misses. Her grandmas, her 2 grandmas, Omi and Nana. Those are the 2 people she misses the most, I would say. But we've just tried to encourage her to call. She has one really special best friend. So we've tried to encourage her to call her a lot, and then call Omi and Nana whenever she's feeling sad. She's been doing a lot better. She unfortunately got bit by a scorpion, or stung by a scorpion. I don't know if it's a bite or a sting. I think it's a sting because it's their tail. And that was an interesting experience. So it is windy season here. We're in February now here in Nicaragua. So February, March are windy season. And we had the first few days of February, like some really intense winds. And I saw a couple scorpions in the house, which we hadn't seen up until this point. I knew it was coming at some point, but I didn't really know when. Nicaraguan friends thankfully take care of them first and just, you know, give them a squash and get them out of the house. But she just brushed her knee up against the couch, and it was like between the couch cushions, so we hadn't checked it. Like, we're good about checking our shoes and blankets, shaking them out, towels. They like warm, damp spots. So if you like drop a wet towel on the floor inside, they're coming in from the wind, and they'll find like a warm, damp spot. So we found them in shower curtains. We had one hammock that wasn't like fully set up, and it was just kind of like folded on the floor. So when we opened it up, we found one in there. So these are the places we've been finding them. Anyways, so poor kid, she got stung, and I felt so terrible. I or Greg, we kind of wanted to get stung first so that we knew what the feeling was like. Anyways, her tongue and her lips went numb immediately, and then the rest of her body, she had numbness and tingling. And we thought it would only last a few hours, but like her spine felt numb. Like every time she bent down and like straightened back up, she felt this weird, numb, kind of tingly feeling in her spine. And then, of course, was worried she was having an allergic reaction. Kept checking her that night to make sure she was breathing and everything. By the next day, she was completely fine. And now she feels kind of proud that she was the first one to get bit. So that brings me into the next part of living here, is all the creatures and critters, and that's definitely been an adjustment, and I knew that would be the hardest part for me. And I try not to be a wuss and a baby about it, because like that's just life and normal for the people that live here. And most people that live here, and especially the people that we work with, they don't have screens and doors. Like there's big gaps between their roof and the wall in their houses, so all sorts of things come in. Here we have screens, at least in the bedrooms, so at night I feel okay. I brought like those things that you plug into the wall that emit like a really high-pitched sound that actually are supposed to scare mosquitoes. And I also brought this little fan thing that has a light, so the mosquitoes are drawn to it, and then the fan sucks them in and kind of kills them. I'm mainly paranoid about mosquitoes right now, particularly for me because I'm pregnant. The mosquitoes here can carry dengue, malaria, Zika, and then there's another one that starts with a SC. It's a Spanish sounding name. I don't know what it is. They're all similar, except Zika is definitely worse for a pregnant woman. But high fever, sickness for several days, and it's very common. So I'm really trying hard not to get bit by mosquitoes. I've gotten a ton of bites. Thankfully, so far, I've been totally fine. Last night we had a tarantula in our house. I did not see it. Marissa saw it, and our friend Will, who lives with us, killed it. And then they saw another tarantula this morning. So I'm assuming the windy season brings them out of the trees as well. It's just gross. I'm not a spider or snake person by any means. And then there was a boa constrictor that was like at least the length of my arm on the rocks near our house, near the beach. And those can be obviously very dangerous. So some Nicaraguan men took care of that. We have monkeys in the trees, like 10 feet from us. If you follow me on Instagram, I try and share whenever they come. Most of the time we love them. Sometimes they are really loud at like 4:35 in the morning and wake you up. And then they're not annoying, but it's just like, oh, do you have to be so loud this early? But overall, it's amazing to have monkeys. They're babies, and they just, whatever trees, I'm not sure what kind they are, but are right outside my window actually, like right behind this camera. They love to eat those leaves. So we see monkeys quite often, and that is really cool. Monkeys are my favorite. Monkeys and horses are my favorite animal. So it's just cool that we have monkeys. Frogs. We had a frog crawl up through our drain pipe in our toilet. So Greg went to go to the bathroom one morning, and there was a frog in there, and the lid was closed. So we know he came up through the drain pipe, and he was massive. He was like the size of my fist, like his body. And then he went back down the drain pipe. We've had no issues flushing or anything. You can't flush toilet paper down, which is one weird thing to get used to here. Some places have built their tanks like that, but most places in Nicaragua, they just aren't equipped to handle toilet paper. So that's just really weird and kind of gross to me that we're still kind of wrapping our head around. What else? Critters, frogs. Yeah, there's frogs everywhere, geckos everywhere. They don't bother me, and they eat the mosquitoes, so I'm fine with them being around. I've seen lots of cool ocean birds and pelicans. A couple times we've seen whales, not very clearly and far out, but we are up very high. Oh, and I have some kids coming. Yeah, so we are seeing all sorts of cool creatures and critters, and I'm going to insert a couple clips. One after Lilia got stung by the scorpion, and one that Marissa made last night after she saw the tarantula. Lil's got stung by a scorpion. You okay?
Yeah, it's just weird, like, I was like brushing up because I was like, trying to sit on the couch, and then she got
I think
down.
the couch is a place to avoid in windy season.
Okay.
It's a good place for them to hide.
Good thing. If Rosie got
Shake out
stung, she would probably be screaming.
Yeah, well, they'll scream too at first. Your lips are numb?
No, she would probably wake up the whole neighborhood.
Okay, let me know if your tongue does, okay? All right, Lil's got bit by a scorpion this morning, and it's about 2 hours later. How are you feeling now, babe?
Like, it doesn't hurt that much, just like a little pain. It just like, my hands just feel so tingly, and like I can't go into proper posture, which I usually do, but okay.
Do your legs feel tingly?
Yeah,
And the one bottom of your foot is itchy, you said?
yeah, that was the opposite foot then.
What about your tongue and your lips? That's where it first started feeling?
Yeah, like my lips, like my top lip, and then it like, went to my bottom lip, and then it went to the back of my tongue, but now it's on my tongue.
Now it's all in your tongue?
Yeah.
Your lips feel normal?
No, like my lips. Yeah,
Still.
my lips feel normal.
Yeah, but
Just
now
a little.
now your hands and your back and your body?
Yeah.
What about your head? Does your head feel weird anywhere? Like your face or?
Like kind of like I have a headache and like I feel dizzy. I'm trying to drink lots of cold water. I'm
so sorry, babe. We gotta Watch out for those things now, huh?
Yeah. I was like, just like we were playing King and Queen's puppies, so trying to like sit on the couch, and then like on the very edge where all the cushions are laying, I like tried to climb up with the scorpion, because my mom's Spanish teacher said she got bit by some so many times when she was a kid, and she said that if it's in windy season, it's like normal for them to like get warm because they don't like the wind. So it's February to March, she said.
And February 2nd today, and you got stung, right? Yeah. You're a champ, my love. But it burned for the first few minutes, right?
Yeah, it was like burn, but then it felt like sting, like burn sting, like it felt like.
Worse than a wasp?
Yeah.
We were told it's like similar to a wasp, but you think it's worse, right?
A little.
Little bit. Worse. But it didn't seem to last as long.
Yeah.
Like you only cried for a couple minutes.
Yeah, it was like, my dad was in the kitchen where we are right now, so I was like, ow, ow, ow. And then I started crying and running to my dad like, ow, it hurts, ow, it hurts. I think I got stung by a bee or something. And then went upstairs, and my mom came down, and she checked, and then my dad's friend, my mom and dad's friend, he came over there and he saw the scorpion, so he whacked it. So then
sweet girl.
It came like, ow, ow, like it just burned and sting, and then I just felt all numb now.
But your lips still feel weird, don't they? Or your tongue. I can tell by the way you're talking.
Yeah. It's hard to talk.
You're a champ, Lillers. You're a real missionary now.
There's a tarantula downstairs.
Pardon?
There's a tarantula downstairs.
A tarantula?
Uh-huh.
Where?
Well, we were just playing pool, and then I was running over, and then I was about to step on him. Because I was going to get my water, I was about to step on him, and he scared me.
Where was he? In the kitchen?
No.
Oh.
He was like close to that pool, near the pool table.
Did you scream?
No.
What did Will do?
He took his shoe off, and then he smacked it. And then the leg was still there and isn't moving.
It was just not attached?
No.
And it was still moving?
Yeah, it was going like. That's so.
And it was not attached to the body?
No.
Oh, gross.
So disgusting.
How big was it?
The leg came off. That.
Oh. But overall, we are adjusting to all of the critters and creatures that are just a part of our life now. Are you going to come say hi, or are you just going to stand there? Are you going to shower?
No.
Oh, the other thing is learning Spanish. That has been difficult. So we have 4-hour Spanish lessons in the morning. So as beautiful as this place is, we are really getting to work. We're taking the first 4 months to live in this house to just adjust. We're not starting any ministry, except we actually have a ministry this afternoon in a couple hours. Our first kids ministry we're starting. We weren't supposed to be doing that, but it just kind of fell into our lap and we couldn't say no. The whole point of living here, we are far away from contacts we know. We're far away from everything. 3 hours away from the city. We're half an hour away from our closest town. So that's been interesting to get used to, you know, if you run out of something. Long, windy, mostly dirt road to get into town from where we are. So we kind of feel like we're in the middle of nowhere. But it's good. We have 2 Spanish teachers that come to us. Greg's a little bit more advanced than I am. So they actually come to us so we can be around for the kids. I set up Lilia and Marissa with some independent work for the first couple hours of our 4-hour Spanish lesson. And then Rosie usually goes with Gloria. So our friends Will and Gloria live with us. Rosie goes with Gloria to walk around the beach, pick up crabs. She tries to keep her busy with crafts and stuff as much as possible, but she doesn't speak any English at all. And of course, Rosie doesn't speak any Spanish. So we just felt it was important for the girls that were still around rather than us going to a school. So that's been working out really well. In a couple weeks, my teacher's going to start coming in the afternoon, mainly because of her schedule. But I think it will work better for us because the kids, I think, are having a hard time with us being busy the first 4 hours of the day. I think overall it will be better. And then, you know, I spend a few more hours in the afternoon with them homeschooling. And then it's usually we go for a swim, go walk on the beach, have a fire on the beach, have dinner, do devotions, and go to bed. So One thing that's changed drastically since moving here, I was such a night owl. I love to wake up before my kids. That's just not possible here because Rosie wakes up so early, but we're still figuring out a routine. But I would stay up really late, maybe get 5 hours of sleep if I was lucky, and try and wake up early so I could get in my Bible time and just quiet time for the kids. I'm just a better mom that way. That was kind of my schedule at home, and I would often stay up till 12 or 1 a.m. Here, a combination of the heat, having the kids around all of the time, the brain power of learning another language, by like 8:30, 9 o'clock, say maybe 2-3 times, I have stayed up past 9:30. I'm usually asleep by 9 o'clock here, and we wake up at 5. The sun starts rising about 5:30, but usually the monkeys, and then we have these birds, they're magpies here, they're called urracas, that start squawking nice and early, so that's usually what wakes me up. Rosie is usually up by 5:30. I don't get that quiet time in, but Greg is here, there's 2 other adults. I'm trying to, remove the mom guilt of just being there for them every single minute of every single day, because we literally are together all of the time. I don't drive, so it's not like I can go out and get half an hour to myself. So this last week, our 4th week here, I've been trying to find a new rhythm and routine. Greg will kind of take the girls down and get them breakfast, and I do my Bible, my journal, my whole morning routine, and then I actually head down to the beach and I walk the beach, do some yoga, stretching on the beach. Sometimes I jump in the morning, and then I come back before Spanish, and that just kind of helps to set me up right for the day. So just finding a new routine, when you first make a huge change like this, it's just kind of adjusting and figuring out your new normal and all of that. But I feel like we're starting to settle, and I can kind of create more solid routines. I'm somebody who really thrives on routines. Most people do, whether you know it or not. Some people will set them up well. Some people just know when things are kind of the same, or they have some sort of consistency, they do better with goals or different things that they're wanting to do. Anyways, I love routine. I love being settled. I'm a homebody. I am having a hard time, and so is Lilia, being in another rental. So we sold our house in March, so it's been a year. Well, we didn't move out till May, but it's been a year essentially that we haven't had like our own space. So we lived at our friend's place. We knew we were moving, so we didn't set up our rooms like the way the kids wanted them, or, we just used kind of what we had, and we had already gotten rid of so much stuff. We lived with my parents for the first little bit of that while the house was being sold. Near the end of our journey, we moved in with Greg's parents for the last few weeks before we moved here. I am just somebody who really appreciates their own space and setup and have a routine and all of that. So I'm trying to do that as much as I can here. But me and Lilia are especially feeling ready to get settled into a more permanent housing situation. We do plan on buying a house and property. So we just put all our money into savings after we sold our house. So now we're searching to find the right property here. Not only are we going to live there, but it's going to be like our headquarters, and we're going to be doing ministry out of it. So we're looking for a large property that preferably has a house already built and secure for us. Security is an issue here. So I would appreciate if you would pray. We found a property. I'm going to look at it in about a week, but it has a secure fence all around it, and the house is very secure with gating and iron gates all around it. Nicaragua is not dangerous, especially compared to other Latin American countries, but it's one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere, the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere next to Haiti. And with that, there just comes desperation sometimes. And as a person with white skin here, you not only are charged more for things, there's a Nicaraguan price and a gringo price, or a chele price. They call Americans gringos and Canadians cheles. So our price is higher for things, but also you can become a target, especially if you're flashy. I don't have my engagement ring anymore. I just have this simple $10 band from Amazon, some little beaded bracelets. I don't wear any sort of fancy jewelry by any means anymore. Just kind of blend in as much as you can. You don't want to make yourself a target, because I don't consider myself a rich person, but to somebody who lives in poverty, and I don't want to say this is a general statement. There's not all Nicaraguans are like this, but there are some. So security is an issue. I'm not going to go rambling off that topic. So we found a property that's completely secure, or as much as I can tell from the pictures on the internet, and we're going to look at it. So I would appreciate if you would pray with us. It's slightly over our budget. So, if it's the right one, I know God will provide, or the owners will drop the price by what we need them to drop the price by. I'm not concerned. If it's the right one, God will make a way. Something about it just feels right. And especially being halfway through my pregnancy. I know I'm going to want to be settled. I nest hardcore. I remember that with Lily and Marissa. So I know I'm going to want my own space where that I can kind of get set up for a family. It's been kind of a crazy time of homeschooling. I think I'll do another update video on homeschooling, so I'm not going to get into that there, but there's been a lot of inconsistency. And being it my first year, I really could have used the consistency to have a better system. So I'm trying now with what we have and move. And now that I've added another kid to homeschooling, unfortunately, Rosie can't homeschool with us. She has to kind of have her separate own time because she's just with some of her behaviors and stuff. And, you know, like the other day, she poured her water all over the girls' binders when she's trying to homeschool. So it's best if Rosie is separated while I'm homeschooling the other girls. So she goes with Gloria or be with Greg if I'm doing something in the afternoon, or try to do stuff when she's napping. And then I do separate things with her. And her learning level, I wouldn't say it's a full year behind. And I don't want to put any sort of like parameters on her. She's little. But she does have a pretty significant speech impediment, and just remembering things is really hard for her. So we just make it fun. We're kind of doing a lot of flashcards right now, focusing on colors and shapes and letters for her, and songs, and, you know, just making it fun. She'll be 4 in 5 months, so she's preschool age, but I would say she's definitely not where Lilia and Marissa were at this age as far as what she knows. Just totally fine. Everyone learns at their own pace, and, you know, she's got some things to overcome. So we're just working with her a little bit differently. But homeschool, we have to kind of have separate time. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling on about that. I'm not going to get into homeschool here. I had a few people on Instagram ask for homeschool updates, so I'm going to make a separate video about that. Overall, homeschool is going great. I actually love homeschooling. I just really want a dedicated space for it in our new house, just the way I function best. For me to be able to make it really fun for the kids and have a whiteboard and, you know, put up maps and things like that on the wall. Like, that's just kind of important to me. Right now we just do it at a kitchen table and we put it all away. I'm looking forward to a dedicated space to that. And just to set up a room for the baby and get the girls settled. Lily is definitely anxious for some roots. Krista too, we've told them they can get dogs when we get our new house. We will have like larger dogs, again, for security issues, but also for something for them to look forward to. You live here, it's very outdoor living, so I love bigger dogs, but I just, in Canada, when they're inside all the time, you have to take them for long walks in the winter. It was just never something I would have done in living in Canada, but living here, it's a lot different. So 2, maybe 3 dogs, cats. It's very outdoor living here, so be very different. I think that's about it. This video is starting to get long, so I think that's about it. I'll give a quick pregnancy update. I'll maybe make a separate video about that as well. So I'm halfway. I'm feeling great. I honestly don't even feel pregnant half the time. I found a doctor here. I'm going to make another video explaining, because it's just, he was nice, but I didn't love the experience, and I just feel like I'm not going to love this experience, but I don't really have an option. I'm used to midwifery care. Midwives are actually illegal here. It's very medical, the care here, and I'm just going to leave it at that. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not at all what I'm used to and not at all what I prefer. So I'll make a separate video, but overall, pregnancy is going great. I'm super thankful that I get to be pregnant one more time. It was definitely like a deep desire of my heart, because I always thought we'd have at least 3 biological children before we started fostering and adopting. So when we kind of switched plans to fostering and adopting, before I'd had that 3rd child, it was just kind of always in the back of my heart. But then as I got older, and I explained this in my pregnancy, when I announced I was pregnant video, it just kind of became harder to make that decision. Like, do I actually start all over again? So I'm just so super thankful that it just happened. And I don't want to be like blasé about it, because I know how many women struggle to get pregnant, and infertility is such a huge thing. And it's a pain I wish no woman had to go through. So I don't want to like slough this off as like, it's not a miracle. It is a miracle. And I'm super, super thankful and grateful, and just honored that God gave us this little baby. If you saw our gender reveal, he is a boy. We're still deciding on names. Anyways, I can see the kids outside with bathing suits on. I think they want to go for a swim. Ministry, let me quickly talk about the ministry. So we've been attending a small little church here, and Greg had just asked the pastor if there's any kids ministry, because the pastor actually lives in the city and comes here for 3 days, like Friday night to Sunday afternoon. And there's a teen, like a youth ministry on Saturday evenings, but there's nothing specifically for the kids. And then the next week we went to church. The answer was no, we don't have anything for the kids. To, yeah, we're starting a program on Saturday, February 6th. And then the next week when we went to church, the pastor informed Greg that he can do whatever he wants with the program. So we kind of just thought we'd be helping out and assisting and maybe picking up some of the kids in the neighborhood, because we got a 15-passenger van. If you want to see that, all those videos are on the new channel. But sounds like we are running the whole thing by ourselves. So we've prepared, we got some crafts ready to go. Will and Gloria are going to be helping us, so we don't feel too big of a responsibility. We were really counseled not to get into any sort of ministry in our first year really here, but because we have so many contacts here, it just doesn't make sense, honestly, to wait that long. We've been here a month and we're kind of raring to go. We're not going to be starting like our specific orphan care ministry until we're well established and settled, but we feel like starting this small ministry to help this pastor out while we're attending his church for the 4 months that we're in this area. Just a blessing and an honor and an opportunity that God gave us to kind of get our feet wet, if you will. We are heading there in about an hour. We're all prepped and ready to go. I think the kids want to go for a quick swim. I'm going to grab some lunch, but I just wanted to make this video. I plan to put out 2 videos a week here. I'm just at the point where I'm just kind of revamping what I'm putting on this channel, what is going to be on the new channel, and just kind of getting everything planned and set up in between learning Spanish and teaching the kids and all of that. But I feel really like excited and pulled, and like God is telling me it's the right time to kind of get back into this channel a little more actively. Really just feel this is part of a ministry to other moms. I get messages all the time still from foster moms and adoptive moms and just Christian moms that they found my channel and it's been such a blessing, and they thank me for it. And you know, every time I feel like, should I give up on this and should I not do this, I'll get a message like that. So anyways, thank you for being here and watching to the end. If you did, please go over to the new channel and subscribe. One way you can help support our ministry, once we get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 minutes in views over there, we can actually, I know ads are annoying, I'm sorry, but it's one way you can help fund our ministry. And I just want to talk to you guys. I miss talking to you guys. So please go subscribe to the other channel. I will leave it linked in the comments below. It is called Isaac's in Nicaragua. There's 3 videos up there so far. One I posted here first, and then it's posted over there with an intro because that's when I made the decision to make a separate channel, because I just mainly want to talk to you guys. So please go over there and subscribe and leave a comment, and let's get connected again. I miss so many of you, familiar faces. You know, some of you have found me on Instagram and talked to me there, but there are a lot from YouTube that I feel like I've lost contact with. So thank you guys. Subscribe if you're new here. Love to have you and you watch this to the end. But yeah, I'm excited for 2021. I know we're a month into it, but I knew I couldn't. We're just adjusting. Had a lot going on with my family, and you know, just trying to adjust to living in a developing country and all of the things, and learning Spanish. I knew I wouldn't be having really a ton of videos here, but there are 3 videos on the other channel, and there's going to be lots more videos to come here on this channel. So I hope you stay tuned, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.